Thinking about buying a franchise? Don't go it alone. Just like a buyer's agent in real estate, you deserve someone who's on your side every step of the way. That's where Todd Abraham, the franchise guy, comes in. Todd's consulting services are completely free to anyone looking to buy a franchise. He'll represent your interest, make sure all your questions are answered, and walk you through the entire buying process. With Todd in your corner, you'll have the best chance for success from your first call to the day you hold the keys to your new business. So before you buy a franchise, talk to someone who knows the industry inside and out and works for you. Call Todd Abraham, the franchise guy, today at 423-381-0925 for a free, no-pressure consultation. That's 423-381-0925. Your future in franchising starts here. Good Monday afternoon, and welcome to the Franchise Marketing Systems Client Spotlight Podcast. Today we are talking about furry little critters and a whole lot more that infest your home. And we're talking to the guys who kill them and get rid of them. We were joking around right before we started recording the call, and I was talking with Noam, and he said, we're contract killers. And I said, yeah, you're like the mouse mafia. So the business is Green Rodent Restoration. And I could tell you how the idea came about, but I think it would be better coming from Noam. So Noam, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So now, where are you based out of geographically?
So right now we're in Los Angeles, California. Some people might consider this a great place. Most wouldn't. But yeah, we're located out here. Right now it's nice and sunny. Slowly getting into cooler evenings, so it's nice. It's nice. You know, we have some good weather, that's for sure. That's for sure.
I lived in San Diego for about 6 months back in 0203, and I absolutely loved the weather there. Went through LA a couple of times. The only thing I didn't like about LA, to be honest, was mostly the traffic. But, you know, it's like any other place. It's got its pros and cons. So you were telling me the story behind the foundation of Green Rodent Restoration right before we recorded. How about sharing that with our listeners?
Absolutely, absolutely. So Green Rodent Restoration was founded by my brother-in-law and I. This was before we were brother-in-laws, so you know we had a nice relationship. And then I met his sister, and basically we're both working at a HVAC company. I was out on the field. He was in the office, managing the office, and we were just, you know, I was constantly going to attics. We were seeing rodent droppings, live rodents, and we were there, you know, being called for air duct cleaning, you know, some basic stuff. And slowly but surely, Omri and I, we were always talking about what we see on the field, always sharing pictures, and we just ended up developing a step-by-step procedure to eliminate rodents from, you know, coming into your home, into your attic, crawl spaces, and whatnot, infesting your insulation, infesting your air ducts. And we do it all in a green way, which is definitely a change for a lot of people that are in the pest control world, because the pest control world is known for using chemicals and poisons. And, you know, the fact that we've been doing it in an organic way, where no chemicals or poisons or even bullets are used, you know, definitely changed up the way people look at pest control in general. Now, Green Rodent Restoration, we specialize in rodents, so we don't do anything, you know, that has to do with any other pests, such as, you know, spiders or termites or cockroaches. So we strictly treat for rats, mice, possums, squirrels, raccoons, skunks. We get a kangaroo here and there, but, you know, for the most part, we're hanging by the little critters. So we really broke it down into how we treat for each one of these rodents. And again, in an organic way, where it's safe for the house, safe for the people living in the house, and safe for the environment, which is extremely important. Aside from that, we also do the construction by all the damages that they've occurred, they've done, which is even if it's, just urinating and defecating in the insulation or chewing up the air ducts and now also nesting inside the air ducts or anything, even drywall repair. They damaged any drywall or they're hiding in the walls and we need to open up drywall. We do it all in-house. So it's basically your A to Z solution for your rodent problem that's damaging your house.
So you were joking when you said kangaroos, right?
I was definitely joking.
Because I can just see, it's like, honey, you're never going to believe what I saw in the attic.
There you go. This guy in Florida, it was actually funny. I was talking to this guy in Florida, and I don't know how this even happened, but in Florida, they had an alligator in an attic. It sounds ridiculous, but they showed me a picture, and I was shocked to see such a thing. I mean, we've seen snakes in attics here, so I mean, alligators could be.
If I saw that, I'd come down the ladder and say, y'all have to call somebody else. I ain't wrestling no alligator today, man. They don't pay me enough money.
Yeah.
That's cool, though. So how many years has Green Rodent Restoration? And I can see why you call it that because, like you said, you're not just eliminating the problem, you're preventing the problem, and then you are restoring any damage done by these rodents. So how long have you guys been in business, and then how many locations do you currently have active right now?
So we've been in business since 2018. 2018 was our, takeoff. We've been in business now, I guess, 6 years and on. Right now, as of today, we currently have 5 locations, 3 in Southern California. We're working on 2 more in one in San Diego, 1 in San Francisco. We have a location in Chicago, Illinois, and in Edison, New Jersey. I mean, we're getting there. We're working our way across the nation right now.
Well, yeah, and we were talking about New York. I know that New York City itself, just from everything that I've seen and heard, they've got a pretty big rodent infestation there. So that might be a good spot would be a good spot for one of your companies for sure. So one of the things that you do is actually going in, assessing a home or business, and then figuring out ways to prevent these rodents from even getting into the house, right?
Correct. So our service is basically to eliminate anything that's inside. So we try and repel them out. We've basically studied rodents and their habits and how they operate. When are they inside your house? When are they outside of the house? And then, of course, excluding the property, making sure nothing could possibly ever get back in. And then, of course, the restoration, like you're mentioning, that we do. I mean, it's really all in the name. It's right there.
Well, because I have to be honest, when I first, got notification about your business, I was thinking that sounds kind of odd, Green Rodent Restoration, but now I fully understand it. And for those of you that are listening, you can't see Noam. I can, but on the back wall of his office, there's a huge logo, which is very well designed. It says Green Rodent Restoration. So tell us about who is your ideal candidate for becoming a franchisee? Is it somebody who's already in the pest control business, who's maybe looking to add on to what they're already doing, or make a complete change from what they're doing to become a franchisee with you? Who's your ideal candidate?
So we've been getting quite a bit of interest. I mean, a lot of people have been contacting us about our niche, because it is a niche within an industry. We basically combined 2 thriving industries and created our own industry, if you really think about it. We've gotten people from anywhere from ex-pest control operators to construction workers to people that have worked in the restoration industry, which is water, fire, mold, and just people that are, entrepreneurs and are ready to make money. If you had to ask me what would be the most ideal, I think it'd be people that have been in the pest control industry. And the reason behind that is because pest control industry is taking on a turn. A lot of people are understanding that there is a green movement. As much as we're here in California and, we've seen the green movement in the past, a lot of people are recognizing this green movement, even the people that are in the pest control industry. And they're understanding that there are ways to prevent rodents or any actually kind of pest with green preventatives. And so because we've already done that, because we're coming with a formula, people in the pest control industry are really looking at us and like they're pretty stunned to understand that, hey, this company's making a lot of noise in this industry. I'll give you a short story. I was in Houston about 5 months ago at a pest control convention, pest and wildlife convention, and one of our reps from Jersey was there with me as well, and I went to step out to talk on the phone. I had a business call, and as I got back to the class, there was a speaker that was talking about, green preventatives and not dealing with chemicals and stuff like that. And I was still like in the midst of texting the customer that I was on the phone with and this and that. And the guy from Jersey taps me on the shoulder and he's like, hey, the guy that's on stage right now is talking about us. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, the guy on stage, he's talking about us. He mentioned Green Rodent Restoration, that we use their product and that we're one of the leading green companies in the nation. I'm like, wow, that's pretty interesting. I had to, once his time finished up on stage, I had to meet him out to see exactly what he was talking about. Long story short, he's one of our reps for a product that we use, and it's a worldwide product.
Wow.
And so the fact that, he just spoke about us randomly like that, in a convention where hundreds of people are there, it's a big deal, and so people are really recognizing that we're doing something right.
You're right. You've noticed that. I've noticed it in commercials and stuff, how these, a lot of these pest control companies, or at least some of them are talking about how they, kill and get rid of these pests or whatever, or insects, rodents or whatever, using all natural chemicals that aren't harmful to the environment, but you don't see a lot of it. So I just think that it's cool because prior to talking with you and learning about your company, that you have a method to not only treat and remove, but also to prevent them from even coming in. You want to talk about stories. When me and my older brother were younger, like kids, my mom had this house, this ranch style house out in the middle of the woods in South Georgia. And she told us to go back to her bathroom and brush our teeth before we went to bed. We get back there brushing our teeth, man. And we look up and there's a snake hanging off the toothbrush holder. You talk about two boys screaming and running in terror, man. We definitely could have used you back then because they had to call an exterminator that come out and he killed the snake, but it died in the wall. And it was just an awful smell but that scared the living daylights out of us. It was crazy.
Yeah, these things happen all the time. All the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what type of investment? What is your franchise fee, your monthly royalty, and then what is like the minimum investment for someone to get started with you?
So that's a great question. So the way we've arranged it is basically it's very financially appropriate to anybody. We based it off of median household income in the area that they're looking for. So our averages range from anywhere between 30 and 80,000 per location. Each location, if I'm not mistaken, is 300,000 household 300,000 3,000. That's when you have a 1.5-year-old. You're up at 3 o'clock already. 300,000 single-family dwelling units. So that means specifically homes. So each territory holds 300,000 homes, not condos, not apartments, not buildings, strictly homes. Again, it's anywhere between 30 and 80,000. That's the franchise fee. In terms of the royalty, it's 8% off the first million that you sell, and after that is 5%. And what was the last question that you have?
I think that was pretty much it. Actually, that's a very robust territory, and I love how scientific you've got with that, with 300,000 actual homes. I'm sure there's a third part that I asked you about, but so let's talk about commercial accounts. Is that something that you guys will train your franchisees how to develop, and do you have a lot of those type of accounts?
Absolutely. So at Green Road Restoration, we're not just business to residential, we're business to commercial and business to business. So we have 3 different ways to make money here. One is obviously to the direct consumer, offering them our attic cleanouts, exclusion, restoration work. The secondary way of making it is, of course, for also the same thing goes for commercial work, commercial units. Secondary ways are recurring services, which a lot of commercial and restaurants, warehouses that store food use. Our recurring service is basically your monthly subscription to our spraying of repellent and bait boxes to keep the area under control. And then, of course, the business to business, which is basically offering our services to other pest control companies that don't hold the manpower to do the attic cleanouts, the exclusion work, the re-insulating. So we have 3 different channels of producing a nice income.
Now, so when you said the minimum investment, you're talking about to get started is about including the franchise fee is about 80,000 ish.
So like I said, I mean the territory wise, it all goes down into the median household income. So for instance, I'll just give you an example. A territory like everybody knows Beverly Hills. It doesn't have 300,000 homes, but let's just say it did have 300,000 homes. It would go for the $80,000 territory fee, just because the median household income there is a lot higher.
Right.
I believe I would give you a nice idea, but basically in terms of your investment, I would say including trucks, a little bit of equipment. There's not much that goes into it. Some machinery that you need. Yeah, you'd probably be in the $50,000 to $100,000 range. Again, including their territory fee.
Okay, and so do they have to have an office? Do they have to buy your trucks specifically, or how does that work?
No. So this business, it's pretty funny you ask, but this business could be totally started out of a garage. We did that. It's definitely a business that can be operated through your home to start off. We do highly advise that you get, an office space, a little warehouse or something of such sort, just because it gets you in that mood of I'm going to work versus I'm home. It's 12 o'clock, no calls. Let me go take a nap.
My 1.5-year-olds kept me up all night.
Yeah. But yeah, we do highly advise that you get an office and warehouse space. Aside from that, you don't have to buy your trucks from us. There are some equipment that you will buy from us, but the bigger stuff such as trucks, we don't require you to buy that from us. Machinery, we help you. We have connections that we've made with different manufacturers that give us good discounts on machinery. So it's not like we collect those discounts. Those discounts are directly towards to you guys. To any franchisee that's looking to buy into our company, we give you all the direct contacts that we have. But like I said, I mean, yes, there are some stuff that the franchisee will need to buy from us. It's just stuff that has our logo on it, to put out our brand recognition. But aside from that, nothing really. No, we don't.
That's cool.
We're not connecting you guys to make sure that you have to buy a Toyota Tundra from my lot.
Right, right. No, it's just good information to know because, office space is definitely not cheap, but it's good to know that somebody can start from their home base. And then once they begin to build their income, which sounds like there's a huge potential because I don't think there's a lot of competition specifically out there that does based on the model that y'all have built here. All right. So once somebody becomes a franchisee with you, how much training will they go through? Will they do it at your location or will you come to theirs or both? How does that work?
Good question. So we basically built a training session in our facilities. I like to call it about a month's worth of training because it is also hands-on training. So a lot of it, yes, is educational. We could do that on Zoom. I could send you the presentations and stuff. But because you're also dealing with a lot of hands-on work, it's very important to know how to do the work. And so we basically built an area here in our facility to make sure that whoever does come in for the training is hands-on. We even send them to days of worth of work with our guys out on the field so that they can not just see how they're operating and how they're working, how they talk to the customer, but they can also feel the way that it's being done. And that's something that's extremely important because at the end of the day, we want to continue our reputation, and so here in Southern California, we've built a reputation of being the number one, company for rodent work, exclusion wise, disinfecting, everything that we have to do as an all around company. The consumer knows of it because of, because the way we work, the way we operate, the way we handle everything. And a lot of our work here is word of mouth. So, I mean, it definitely shows for itself why it's important to bring them out here to see how to get everything done.
Right. I just had the funniest thought, but those courses they send the police through when they're like a SWAT team, when they're learning how to work together, and the targets pop up. I thought, how much fun would that be? If you just had some money to burn, you build up, you build a place like that where your new franchise sees you go in there with laser guns, and the mouse pops up, and they take his head off. That would be so much fun to say the least.
Yeah. Yeah, eventually when I have maybe about 50 franchisees, I'll consider that.
Welcome to our laser rodent course. Here you're going to have a lot of fun and learn how to identify your target market, No, yeah. That's great. All right. So I have to ask this question because like I said, Noam, those of you listening, you can't see them, but I can. You look pretty young. So tell us how old you are.
Oh man, you're getting the secrets out today. I'm 32 years old.
32.
I've been doing this for the past, I started this company in 2018. My brother-in-law and I started in 2018. That means I was 26 back then. But because we also pitched it to the previous company we worked at, we've been doing this for about almost 10 years now.
Right.
So that means I started at 22.
But you said your previous experience was in the HVAC industry, which is
Right.
a very good foundation to build, what you're doing here.
Right.
So now somebody comes on board as a franchisee, they get branded, they get their vehicle ready to go, they come out for their training, and now they're ready to hit the ground running. What kind of marketing support can they expect to receive from the headquarters?
So the beauty of behind our franchise is, as much as you're your own company, you're your own business owner. We always look at how to advance, and make things a lot better. my two partners and I mean, that's basically our role over here is brainstorming how to make things better. In terms of marketing, we've found out that there are different territories with different thoughts about marketing. For instance, I'll give you an example. There's an area in Edison, New Jersey, where the average person living there is 60 years old. So, with all due respect to all our 60-year-olds, most of them still deal with paper mail versus just digital marketing.
Right.
And so we've noticed that the paper mail there works better than the digital marketing. So really we analyze the areas that they're located and say, all right, let's invest in paper trails, such as your local magazine, or let's invest in a little bit stronger in digital marketing on this site. So we give you the insights of what you should do in order to be successful. We do have our own in-house marketing team. It's not you're not required. You are not going to put a gun to your head and say, hey, you got to use our marketing team or else you can't be part of the team. But we do have that available for every single one of our franchisees. And like I said, we also have the connections that we've made with other paper trail companies to help market with that as well. Aside from that, now I just remembered also, we do a lot of connecting between, like I said, business to business, so other pest control companies. So that's some marketing that we do within the headquarters, which is over here. We work with one of the bigger companies out in the U.S. So each one of our locations works with them also. Aside from that, we have built great relationships with other convenience store companies that are nationwide, restaurants that are nationwide, whether it's fast food chains. What else? I think we also connect very well with cities, local cities, and so that's you get that whole package here. And like I said, I mean, it might not be the direct marketing that the franchisee is looking for in terms of, oh, should I be investing in Google or should I be investing in Yahoo or should I put my money in Yelp? We really advise you, we show you a path of where you should go based off of where you're located.
That's good. Now, the reason I would comment about your age, because, it just shows that, you're really driven because, most people typically, according to the statistics, don't actually kind of really get started in a successful business like that, usually till about 40. So I think that's a testament to you and your drive and your passion for what you do. We can't really talk numbers, but it sounds like, based on everything we've talked about, it sounds like it's definitely a very profitable business because rodents are surely, a big deal these days, as far as numbers go. And like we talked about before, it's a unique niche business within that, because I could see definitely people already established in the exterminating business, or maybe they work for a larger exterminating company and they're tired of working for the man and they want to go to, be their own boss. Even your startup investment is lower than a lot of service businesses, franchises that I've heard about. So I think you've got a lot of good things going for you.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's funny that you mentioned, because I actually did an introduction to the industry to two of our new employees that we just hired. Thank God we're growing, so we always need to bring in the right people into our company. But today I did an introduction to the two of them, and we're still considered a service business. Like I said before, we cover two industries. We cover the pest control industry, and we cover we'll consider construction home improvement industry, because it's what restoration falls under. Nationwide, based off of we'll go back on, still haven't received the 23 and 24 numbers yet, but basically, going back to 2022, pest control was a $30 billion industry. And within that $30 billion, rodents took up 10%.
Wow.
And so that's just that industry. The home improvements industry is just above half a trillion dollars, so $500,000 industry. That includes retail sales, of which 162 of that are your service-based industries. Of that 162, 60 billion of that are your emergency businesses. So we fall in all three of those categories: emergency business, service business, and pest control, right?
Right.
This is off of 2022 numbers. The average American saves every year approximately $10,000 for emergencies around the house / home improvements. Our numbers, based off of, I know we didn't want to get into numbers or profitability, but our numbers fall right into that $10,000. And that's the beauty behind this business, is that it's really designed very well to be successful.
It sounds like you've definitely put a lot of time and thought and planning and research into it, which I always love. For those of you listening, the website is very simple: greenrodentrestoration.com. And it's a great website. When you go there, you're going to see this menacing looking mouse staring straight at you, so you'll know what they're there to take care of. And then if you're interested in becoming a franchisee, the link to become a franchisee is also on their primary site, which again is greenrodentrestoration.com. And so, Noam, tell us about your experience as we get ready to wrap up here with what made you choose Franchise Marketing Systems, and how has your experience been with them so far?
We chose FMS for very specific reasons. It was very important for us to have the clarity of what's going to happen, in the time being that we're going to be working together. Extremely important because, as somebody that's starting in the franchise industry, it's kind of like it's trying to figure out different places to put your company in. And FMS does all that for you. They get to the source, the potential franchisee. They locate them. They do everything A to Z. They basically, help with qualifying them, making sure they're the right candidate for your company, and making sure that your company is the right fit for the candidate. And I think that's something that's extremely important, because in order for both sides to be successful, it all has to come along. It can't be that as a franchisor, of course I want as many franchisees as possible, but it's not just about me gaining as many franchisees as possible. It's making sure that these franchisees are going to be successful. And so it's a handshaking hand business. And I think that's what was really important for us, was knowing that FMS will definitely qualify both sides as best as possible.
Right. And everything that they do as far as the franchise creation process too is just so thorough and so detailed and so timely and fluid. As a franchisor myself with FMS, that was one of the things that because when I started, looking to franchise my company, I didn't know anything. I mean, other than, hey, there's franchise attorneys and this is what they cost. And that was a lot of money. And I thought, well, I surely don't have that. They don't do payment plans. And FMS, for about the same amount of money, does that and a whole lot more. And basically everything you need to become a professional franchise. And they allow you to pay their fee in like 6 to 8 monthly installments, which I think was amazing. Well, Noam, I have enjoyed. How do you pronounce your last name? Chanero?
Chanero.
Chanero, cool. So Noam Chanero, he is the founder of Green Rodent Restoration and the president, of course, of the franchises. Excellent opportunity here for a wide audience of entrepreneurs who are looking for a niche market that's really going to be a blessing, especially to homeowners, for not only getting rid of rodents, but preventing them from getting back into your home, restoring any damage that's been done by them, and all in a very professional, customer service oriented manner. Noam, any final remarks before we close out here today? How do people get in touch with you if they have specific questions that they want to talk to you about?
Absolutely. So there are a few ways you can get a hold of us. If you go onto our website, www.greenrodentrestoration.com, there is a franchise portion on the website. You could fill out your information. In the notes, you could, put attention to Noam. I'll be more than delighted to help you out. I give you guys my email. It's Noam, Noam, @grrfranchise.com. Any questions you guys have, feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to, go over everything and anything you guys need in order to show you the way to the green team.
That's pretty cool. Yep. Well, listen, brothers, I've really enjoyed it. And for those of you who are tuning in, whether you're listening, I couldn't say live because we don't do these particular podcasts live. But if you are interested in buying a franchise with Green Rodent Restoration, it's a fantastic opportunity. Again, go to their website, greenrodentrestoration.com. There is a link on there to become a franchisee with them with all the information. And again, you are listening to the Franchise Marketing Systems Client Spotlight podcast. If you are interested in creating a franchise out of your business, by all means, contact me, Todd Abraham, at 423-381-0925 Eastern Standard Time. FMS is going to give you a completely free consultation, tell you all the reasons why your business would make a great franchise. And then if not, they'll tell you the things that you need to work on in order to get it to the point where it will be a great franchise. Noam, thanks so much for being on the show with us, brother. I wish you all the success in the world.
Thank you, Todd. It was a pleasure.